Hi, and welcome to this tutorial for Stride Events. Today we're going to talk about how you can edit your registration form. So you'll start by logging into your account, and then you'll find your event for the year. We're going to do our fake demo Old Town Renaissance Fair. Then from the sidebar menu, you're going to select Edit Registration and Edit Form. And then you'll see it pops up, and at the top here in the right corner, we've got a green button that will take you back to the dashboard when you're done editing. And then we have an add question, the settings button, separate settings button. And then we have where you can adjust the foreground color and the background color. So let's start with the foreground color. So you see we've got this gradient of green right now, and I can click and drag that wherever I want. And you'll see that the text is automatically changing depending on how light or dark the background is. We'll go with that green. If I don't want it to be green and I want more of a teal, I can do that. I can, on the sliding bar on the right, I can go from like pink, purple, green, blue, yellow, orange, red, until I'm happy. I think the green might have been best, so we'll go with that. And then, and then if I have a specific hex code that I'm trying to match from my logo, I can type that hex code in here. Okay. Now you can't see the background on this one because I have a photo in the background. But if I go into settings and disable that, you can now see we've got a black background. I can move that around and change it up just like I can in the foreground. It looks the exact and works the exact same. Same thing with the hex code here. Okay, I liked it better with the photo, so I'm going to enable that photo again. And so now you can see we've got a lovely Renaissance festival in the background. All right, we're gonna go back to settings. You do have the option to upload a banner. Most of our clients don't, but you do have that option if you would like. Now down here, you can adjust the form opacity. So right now it's at 75%. If I wanted it to be completely opaque, I would set it to 100%. I would set it to 100%. And then you see, we don't even see hardly any of that photo in the background. So I'm going to go back and change it back to 75. You can pick any number between 60 and 100. So if you wanted to do 81 or 97, you can do whatever number you would like. And I'm just put it back to 75. All right. Now we have some preset questions that we just have, and then a couple of other settings that we'll go through on this settings box. So we have a gender question that's kind of a default gender question. It does default to just male or female. If you want to ask about gender and you want to be more inclusive, you can create your own custom question, and I'll show you that in a minute. For this Renaissance Fair, we don't really care. So I've turned it off. There's a phone number question and a text alert question, and then we have an address question that we can't disable just because it's important for calculating sales tax and making sure that that is correct. All right. Now we have a multiple category speed up option that you can enable. So that's, for example, maybe you have someone who's a performer and a vendor at your event, and so they're going to register twice in 2 different categories. And if you want to speed up that process, you can enable the setting, and then when they register for the second category as the same person, it will autofill some of that data that they've already submitted, so it can make that a faster experience for them. If you would like to, you can require email verification. If you're working with teams for your categories, you can select that language. We're not going to worry about it for this Renaissance Fair here, but if you do something with teams, you can adjust those settings here. You don't have to show your logo on your registration page, but if you would like to, you can keep it on or turn it off, whatever your preference is. And then if you are selling something as part of your registration, maybe it's a commemorative t-shirt, or maybe you've got something else that you're doing, and you have different sizing, and maybe when medians are sold out, they're sold out. So if this is turned on, then it will show that medium at one point was available, but it will be grayed out and it won't be selectable. If you disable this setting, then if you're out of mediums, the medium option just won't appear at all. Yeah, so it's just up to you how you want those options to be displayed, or how you want something being sold out communicated to your participants. All right, and if you would like to put your registration page directly on your website so people don't have to leave your site to register, you can show that iframe code here and then copy and paste that to your website, and then it will just be on your website and they'll send the information through that way. All right, so those are the settings. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let's just take a quick look at the form as it is on the back end right now. So if you wanted to change your logo, you can just click this box and then you'll select from your computer what you're going to upload. You'll see we've got everything here. So the gender question we're not going to ask, but it's still going to show up in the background, but since it's crossed off, that's how we know that it won't show on the public facing page. And maybe you have a waiver here. You can edit that. You can change the title. You can edit the text. You've got bold, italics, underline, a bunch of different formatting options here. If you want to require a waiver scroll, you can check this box. If you want to require a full signature, you can check this box. We'll just leave that alone for now. So we're going to save that waiver. And if you want to see the Stride Events waiver, you can click there and see that, that there. All right, let's talk about some questions. All right. If you wanted to create your own question, you have a couple of options. You can do a multiple choice with the drop down. You can do a radio question. So that's where maybe you have 2 to 5 possible answers, but people can only select one. Maybe it's a yes, no. You can decide. But it'll just be like a little circle that people select which option they want. You can do a checkbox so people can submit multiple answers. You can have open questions in a single line or multi-line questions for responses. Okay, and then advanced questions. If you want to know what people's pace are, maybe if you're doing a race, you can, that's what that's there for. You can upload files. So maybe you need to see someone's driver's license and they need to have take a picture of them holding their driver's license. So you can kind of do some of the, if you're doing like drag racing, you can do some of the pre-vetting and verification before the day of the event. And that's easy to do online. And then we also have a participant editable dropdown, so where people can add choices to the dropdown. All right, so these are the options. We're gonna go ahead and we'll do an upload question. And maybe for a vendor, you need a copy of their insurance. All right, so we're gonna only require this for vendors. Maybe we would want it for performers. Yeah, we probably want it for both. So, but if you only wanted it for one of your categories, you could do that. This is going to be a required question, and then we'll just accept a PDF for that. That seems to be the most common file, but if a photo would be great. We have JPEG, PNG, and GIF. Okay. I will get into this additional info button in another question example here in a few minutes. All right, let's save this. All right, and now you see that we've gotten this question added. And if I wanted to edit it, I could just click that edit button and it's right there. All right, we're gonna add another question. We're gonna go for shirt size. We're gonna do adult sizes. And then if I wanted to add another option, I could. Maybe we're gonna do a double extra small as an example. Now, it doesn't quite make sense to go from extra small to extra large and then back to double extra small. So I can just click and move this to the top and order these in the order that makes the most sense. You can also show advanced. Maybe there's a charge for these shirts, so I can put in that price. For example, these aren't going to be unlimited. Maybe we just have 30 of these, and I can say show 30 remaining. Or I don't have to. The extra smalls, we'll just say they're $20. And we're out. So we'll say show 0 remaining. Smalls, we'll do 15, show remaining, and this will auto update as people are buying these. And I'm gonna do 0. All right. Okay, so those will just be different. I'm not going to do all of them, but those will be just a couple examples that we can look at when I'm showing you the live page. All right. And then down here, we have some options. If I wanted to add some additional information about sizing, I could click additional info, and then we're going to type sizing. Oops. Maybe they run big. So we'll have that information there. And that will, if someone doesn't have their size available, that will make it easier for them. Oh, the dollar sign is already there, so we just need numbers here. We're just gonna see, will that go? Okay, that went, okay. All right, and now we have shirt size. Maybe I'm going to switch the order, and I can do that. These ones up here, I can't switch the order, and the waivers are just always going to be last. All right, let's add one more question. So we're just going to go to how did you hear about this event? And then we'll show advanced, and then I'm going to go ahead and select additional text so they can specify who it was. Maybe they can specify where they saw the billboard. That might be too much to ask, but if it's other, we definitely want them to specify. So I'll go ahead and just take off the additional text on these ones, but we definitely want them to specify here. All right, so we're going to save that question. And we're good. All right, so let's look at what this will look like from the public facing page. So I'm going to go to the dashboard, and then I'm going to click website links. And here you'll find a bunch of useful links that you might want to share with people. So we're going to go to our registration page. All right, you see up here, I have to select a category. We're going to select the vendor category as an example. We have all of our required information and details here. We've got our shirt size, and you can see that we have some that have 30 remaining, 13 remaining, that's showing up because we selected that option for it to show how many are remaining. It's not showing up for large and extra large because we didn't select that option. And then you can see down here, we have the grayed out text. Again, that was under settings that we selected the option to show sold out options. So you see that this says 0 remaining and this just says sold out by it. Okay, So that's what that looks like. And then over here, we have this button that says the sizes run big. And then when I go to this drop down and when I click other, we have this additional text box that pops up, and then people can type in additional information there. It's not going to pop up when I say Facebook, Twitter, for example. And then here is where people can upload a copy of their insurance. They can check their waivers. If you have a waiver written, it will appear right here, and then initials. Yeah, so that's the upload feature. Okay, so that's how that works. It's a pretty easy, simple tool to use. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.